so today I have another book review for you. It is The Orphan's Wish by Melanie Dickerson. It is a fairy tale remake of the story of Aladdin. And I love the story of Aladdin, and I love Melanie Dickerson's book, so put it into one. I was so excited to read this book. I was like literally jumping up and down coming out of the library. But I actually have a lot of thoughts on this book. So before getting to those, I'm going to read to you the summary so you kind of get an idea of what the story is about. Orphaned and alone, Aladdin travels from the streets of his Arab homeland to a strange, faraway place. Growing up in an orphanage, he meets young Lady Kirsten, whose father is the powerful Duke of Hagenheim. Despite the difference in their stations, Aladdin quickly becomes Kirsten's favorite companion, and their childhood friendship grows into a bond that time and opposition cannot break. Even as a child, Aladdin works hard, learning all he can from his teachers. Through his integrity, intelligence, and sheer tenacity, he earns a position serving as the Duke's steward. But that isn't enough to erase the shame of being forced to steal as a small child, or the fact that he's an orphan with no status. If he ever wants to feel equal to his beautiful and generous friend, Kirsten, he must leave Hagenheim and seek his own fortune. Yet once Aladdin departs, Lady Kirsten becomes a pawn in a terrible plot. Now Aladdin and Kirsten must rely on their bond to save her from unexpected danger. But will saving Kirsten cost Aladdin his newfound status and everything he's worked so hard to obtain? An enchanting new version of the well-known tale, The Orphan's Wish tells a story of courage and loyalty, friendship and love, and reminds us what family really means. So yeah, as I said, I was really excited to read this book, and what was interesting is that the structure of the story was different than like all of Melanie Dickerson's other fairy tale remake books. Like, as in the fact that in all her other books, the main guy and main girl meet when they're adults and get to know each other as adults. But in this one, Kirsten and Aladdin are childhood friends, and they showed their childhood as friends, and I just thought that was really cute. I liked that. And another thing is that it said in the summary that Aladdin leaves to make his fortune. And therefore, Kirsten and Aladdin weren't really together for like a good part of the story, but somehow it still worked. Like, I didn't mind it, like seeing them separately. But yeah, one thing though that I thought was kind of weird is that what I thought was the climax of the story was like halfway through the book, and this book is like 330 pages long. So halfway through the book, you still have a lot left to go. And I was like, what on earth is she going to put like after this part to keep the story like still interesting? Like, is the whole rest of the book, 100 and whatever pages, going to be just wrapping it up in like the conclusion type thing? And I was like, that's a lot of pages to devote to like the resolution of the story. So yeah, there was that, but I didn't like really think there was enough action in this book, especially after what I thought was the climax. Like, I wanted more action. I wanted more like sword fights and things like that, and I just really wasn't given that, really. It was the thing I think that kept me reading was the fact that I really loved the characters of Kirsten and Aladdin. They were very sweet characters. And also I think the thing that kept me reading was the hope for more action and the fact that this book was written by Melanie Dickerson. So yeah, I was disappointed that I wasn't given like that action. There was like more like internal conflict with the characters, which I did like. I thought that made the characters more detailed and deep, but I wanted more like external conflict and not it all just in their minds. So yeah, I'm glad I read this book. I was a little disappointed, but I did like it. But it was definitely not one of my favorites. Her other books, there are other books that like I've read several times, maybe I'll pick this book up again in a couple years, but it's definitely not one of those books that I loved so much as soon as I finished it. I just wanted to pick it up and read it all over again. So yeah, I'm glad I read it. Not my favorite, but that's what I thought about it. So thank you. If you liked this video, please subscribe and like it. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye, friends.